So our next act is, he's a really funny dude. I met him at the Improv Drop-ins. He's a lot of fun to talk to. He's a teacher. He's got a really good accent, and he's one of the 8 Marks who attend ImprovU. So, without any further ado, let's give it up for Marc Beckerman.
Hey, thanks, Spence. Thanks, ImprovU. It's great to be here.
Are you a math teacher?
Yes, yes, I am. Do you recognize me?
Yes, you slipped for me.
Who are you?
Robin Diamond.
Oh, my God, that's great.
Yeah.
So now I got to cut all my school jokes out of my head. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. And Steve, it's a small world. I don't know if we ever discussed that I grew up in Bayside also.
No, we never did.
We never did? And I don't want to make this a morbid story, but a funny one, in that I recently heard a news report about a building that was being renovated, and they took all the debris from the building and dumped it in a dumpster. Well, apparently it was an historic building, and they took the remains of someone that founded that building and put him in the dumpster. But well, let's go back to my childhood. Unfortunately, I lost my parents when I was young, and I can laugh about it today. It happened 39 years ago. My mother desired to be cremated, and so I'd never planned a funeral or anything like that. Went to the funeral home, made all the preparations, they cremated her, and a week later I get a package. Plain brown wrapper, and I open it up, and there's what resembles a 1-gallon paint container, and it had her name on it. And it was her remains, and I'm a kid, I'm 20 years old, I freaked out. I threw her in a dumpster. On Francis Lewis Boulevard.
That's where
You know where it was, right?
Yeah, probably that was next to my house if it was a dumpster.
That's right. That's right. So anyway, I'm on my second marriage, and met my wife online. J-date. Okay.
Oh my God.
It really does happen. And you know, she said I was the first person in a few years that messaged her. I don't know, I thought she was cute from the pictures. And we texted back and forth, and decided to meet for a lunch date. And I read the articles today how women complain that men don't ask them enough questions about themselves, that the women do most of the talking. Well, anyway, I think I did all of the talking, and finally I quiet down, and I'm expecting her to ask me a question. And what does she ask me? Do I have a name for my penis? So I said, as a matter of fact, I do. I call him Lyndon. And she said, why Lyndon? I said, well, he was a Johnson. So we dated for a while, and I thought it would be time to get married. And so I proposed to her in the line of a dinner buffet. And I did it hypothetically. I said, hypothetically, what would it take you to marry me? She says, well, I suppose if you had a ring, I'd consider it. I reached in my pocket and took a ring out, and she said she would. She hates the hypothetical question, okay? Every night it's like, hypothetically, honey, if I came to bed naked, am I gonna have any luck? Stop asking me those hypothetical questions. So let's get back to teaching in middle school. All right? I have mastered the class on grammar. I'm a grammar nut. You don't know what it's like teaching the kids the correct use of the word motherfucker. And when it comes to math, it's even worse. In fact, I think it was your class. I'm teaching and I'm adding and units of measure, and I'm teaching them that you have 1 gram and you add it to. What are you all thinking? Drugs? You have 1 gram and how many kilograms is that? And then I said, okay, if you have 2 grams and add it to 6 grams, how much do you have? And one kid raised his hand and said, well, you have 8 grams, Mr. B. And this little kid in the back says, Mr. B, my uncle said 8 grams is an 8 ball. So, as a parent, I still think this is funny that you're here. You know what I'm thinking of is they tell you to, if you get up on stage and you're nervous, just imagine everyone's naked. You look pretty good. So I've got 2 kids of my own, and I think I've been, pretty liberal and understanding, raising them.
You think?
I know so. I know so. Because I had my son when he was in high school in the car with a bunch of his other friends. I had picked them up somewhere. And they were all talking, and I said, hey David, I got a question for you. I said, have you ever gotten caught masturbating? He said, no, Dad. I said, good, I'm glad you got a good hiding spot. And then I have another child, and again, I'm very open and supportive, not just of my children, but the whole community, the lesbian, gay, transgender community, because it was my daughter, Amy, who has become, who is transgendered and now a man, and I've had to adapt and deal with things in the community, addressing others, what are their pronouns, and are they binary or non-binary, and all that stuff. And I guess that just makes me transparent. So, but very supportive of the community, and so anyway, I was one of the early users of Viagra. And it was a lot of fun too. I would go into the pharmacy to pick it up, and the pharmacist would say, Mr. Beckerman, I got your Viagra prescription. And don't forget, if you've got an erection longer than 4 hours, you really have to call your doctor. And you wouldn't believe how many phone numbers I collected from women at the drugstore. Well, anyway, if Viagra doesn't work, there is an alternative to it. And it's an injection you have to take. And so I was at the doctor and asked him about it. And he said, well, I'll send the nurse in to show you all about it. And so I had to drop my drawers right in front of the nurse. She comes over and she grabs me where she has to, and she says, Mr. Beckerman, just hold on. You're going to feel a little prick. I said, just like you're experiencing? But anyway, that's my my show for tonight. And hope you all enjoy the rest of it.